Just hit them. Do you hear me now? Oh, yeah, yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Sure.
Test, test.
Yay! It takes a village. It's good. It's live. We're live. Hi. Okay, Claudia, I'm sending this right over to you in case you don't have it yet. Yeah, that's normal. Are you on yet? My bell rang, but I only have old Satsangs. That's what Claudia just wrote. Uh, my bell rang. Okay, we'll see this one. Oh, maybe we can lower the volume. My bell rang. Hi. Just working through the little technical moments. How do I share this? Hmm. Okay. That's because I have it connected. Thank you, though. I'll take it off of there. That's awesome. Let's lower this volume. It's so fun. How do I share this? Quality, playback speed. Alrighty. Share. Here we go. Claudia. And I'll send her a picture so she can see what outfit I'm wearing. But it's all good if she watches a whole other sad song. They're always the same. Never say anything different. And it's only ever this moment, speaking to this moment. This is what I'm wearing. Yay. Okay, that should be perfect. I love this so much. It's so sweet. I'm only ever saying the same thing. And it's only ever this moment, speaking to this moment. Now, of course, there may be a little subtle differences in the conversation, or the flavor, or the energy, and the invitation is always the same. It's so sweet that there's something about this mirage of a world, this hologram of an experience, this mystery, this ever coming and going mandala of phenomena. Something that essentially is not a thing, that is absolutely reliable, unwavering, stable, present, equal to every experience, present in every experience, all experience appearing due to the benevolence, the inexhaustible, loving, relaxed power of this stillness that is, this presence that is, this clarity that is you. So it's so sweet that, and so innocent that we apparently grow up in certain trends of consciousness, certain trends of institutions and societies where this isn't necessarily emphasized. What is taught and emphasized is the amazing realm of thought and phenomena and words and descriptions and sensations. And in that innocence, we're entranced by thoughts and words and descriptions and sensations. Identifying with a thought, so our name, our body, a sense of culture, our preferences, all of that belongs to the wondrous realm of mind. And it's not just who we are. And this is the invitation of satsang, to come together as a way to relax and notice what's already relaxed, to come together and be willing to open and notice what's already open, to come together and be quiet and notice what's already quiet, to come together and be still and notice what's already still. So sweet to discover that stillness, peace, well being, fundamental well being, is not something that needs to be evoked or created or maintained or sustained or mastered or thought or believed, but already naturally present. And one instant of noticing the tendency to emphasize our descriptions, emphasize a descriptive nature of consciousness, which is anything that can be described. And just softening that, relaxing the focus of that, and noticing something present that has never been described, that has never been stuffed into a pocket of information or stuffed into something called a body or something called a present moment, but effortlessly, wildly, roaringly free. This aware intelligence, this that includes all sensations, all energies, all shaktis, all mantras, all sutras, all tantras, all the full spectrum of experience and mind, not at war with any appearance, lovingly noticing if an appearance is ever visible to this bright light. Comes and goes. What I love about this option of noticing what's also here is that it really allows for us to get really skilled at noticing from what space are we living from what space are we speaking from what space are we loving from what space are we relating from what space are we arting from what space are we willing to fully be our authentic selves. Before I continue, anyone want to share something or have a question or like what's going on here? Or a clarification on something? Or if you just want to share something that feels alive for you, top of the news, whatever's on your heart, all is welcome. And feel free to include anything regarding the world, the election. This is the eve of this election. We're on the precipice of who knows what flavor moving forward. feel free to grab that microphone. It's right there.
Um, I've been asking for help
Mhm.
from the unseen helpers
Beautiful.
for the first time in my life over
Okay.
probably the past year.
Yeah.
And it's become more and more of a muscle that I'm
Uh-huh.
conditioning.
Right.
And I feel subtle alchemical changes in myself
Yes.
instantaneously when I ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious um, if you would have anything to share about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. It's so wonderful that we, as we get more familiar with ourself beyond all concepts, all identities, all time, all bodies, we interact with ourselves from this viewpoint of being something, meeting other things. Um, even and so what a gift that we have these permission slips to tap into the un the how did you describe it, the indescribable unseen world. Yeah, the unseen. The So it's like, from my perspective, it's the innocence of our identity, which is our egoic self, the self we assume to be, imagine ourselves to be, tapping into our true self as total freedom, total unknowable, beyond, closer than close and close. But how wonderful to have the poetic, romantic permission slip, invitation, the space of the innocence of a you in need of help, opening to the unseen forces. It's so valuable and so appropriate. All is necessary. All these permission slips so necessary, whether it be anything regarding energy work or Reiki or even medicines or hugs or tantra exercises, yoga exercises, allowing us to just relax enough, to open enough, to taste the amrita of the fullness of being that is this moment, the wholeness that is this moment. The apparent apparition of an ego is just appearing on the lap of grandmother, forever safe, never leaving that lap, never in danger, only appearing to be in danger, never scarce, only appearing to be scarce, playing pretend, dress up. But what a gift to be willing, and I loved how you worded that. The first time that you're opening up to these unseen and feeling that immediate alchemical shifts, because that's the gift. It's like when we're constantly in the fist of our assumptions and we're constantly in the imagined box of what's available to us, what's not available to us, what our resources are, what they're not. And it's like just innocently living in this limited realm that feels very stuffy and can get very scary. So to open to the unseen, to open to the unknowable wisdom, that's so beneficial. Yeah. Anything more you want to share about that? Or was that felt good? Or was that
I feel complete. I just wanted
nice?
to
Yeah, thank
share off
you.
the cuff. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yay. Such a sweet practice to open to the unseen, to the unknown. That is the willingness to not have to run the show through the past. It's the willingness for the spontaneous intelligence that is to have a say, to show the way, to penetrate uh, the limited options of the ego and reveal a vast bounty of possibility and immediate benefit, immediate peace, immediate ease. So I love prayer and love praise and love meditation. What sweet gifts, what sweet breadcrumbs that infinity has left the dream of itself as something separate to continue to open and get familiar whenever it wants to, whenever it's ready. Yeah, of the fullness that's here, the no problem that's here. Like right now, we can totally open, a way to open to the unseen for those that may be watching is a moment of surrender, moving from closed palm, closed fist, to open palm consciousness. Fist takes a lot of effort. You got to believe all kinds of stories. There has to be an allegiance to all kinds of assumptions, such as separation, identity, time, and cause and effect. And in the willingness to allow mind, whatever mind is doing, to allow it to be here just as it is. Allow it to be weather appearing in a vast, always still and bright sky. Whatever emotions are present, to allow the emotions to be as they are. It's so wonderful. We get to discover that who we are is also a safe space for the whole universe. A safe space for the apparent internal landscape, always changing and shifting, and a safe space for the apparent outside world, the moment. Notice all the things you already allow. And you walked into this room, maybe you saw this, and you just allowed it. You weren't like, oh, that can't be here. That totally has to. I mean, maybe it's not your preference, color wise, whatever, but you didn't even imagine that you had to not allow it. Just say, oh, yeah, of course, allowing the sensation of being held by the chair, allowing, allowing sensations of body. So precious, so innocent. These soft, fragile, amazing. Yeah, to move from attempting to control and strategize, caught up in the innocence of war consciousness, the argument with what is, into the allowing. Ah, such a sweet option, always available. And we notice we allow until it becomes more and more obvious that, oh yes, of course, who I am is already and forever has done nothing but allow. Already allowing. You allow the whole cosmos. That which doesn't allow doesn't have quite the strong footing it imagines it does. Anyone else want to share something or explore something? I just noticed so much compassion for all the options of perception on this planet and especially in our country right now. The innocence of everyone doing the best they can, depending on the information they subscribe to, depending on how many YouTube videos they've seen, which YouTube videos they've seen, what podcasts they've listened to, what trauma they have been too afraid to meet or face, or the trauma they've been willing to meet and show up as a presence of support for others. All the flavors. The innocence of the mind's idea of assuming it knows what's best for the world. It knows what's best for oneself. It knows what's best for the next moment. And the innocence of the stress and the frustration and the fear that can arise due to all the thoughts. The innocence of not knowing the option of not having to believe the thoughts. The innocence of not noticing that there is a peace and a well-being that's here. Just as the moment is. The innocence of imagining other out to get you. The innocence of emphasizing what appears to be different and overlooking the total beyond inseparability and sameness that we are, not just as conscious loving awareness, but as the innocence of human soft body, the absurdity of mind, the innocence of feeding the children, doing what one needs to do, showing up for the next unfolding, the next day poem. Such compassion. Sweethearts, so much fear, so much confusion, so much pain, and so much attempts to push it down, run away from it, avoid it at any cost. Blame, blame, blame. Other, other, other. Them, them, them. Innocence of not knowing the option of taking responsibility for your own experience now. The innocence of not knowing we only ever react to our own story in the moment. We're not reacting to a world or a someone. That is neutral. And then we superimpose our story and then react to our own projection, shadow boxing. That's where the violence inflicted is only self-inflicted, not at all trivializing the carnage that happens and the innocent lives that are affected. That is heartbreaking. And the only way for a war to end out there, thankfully, how crazy and what a gift that the only place war starts is here and the only place it ends is here. So how sweet to have the space, the privilege, the awareness. It is quite the privilege when one isn't looking out, running from the bombs overhead, or not knowing when the next glass of water is going to appear. This is a privilege that we have to stop, take inventory. Where is the armor arising within me? How can I take responsibility for that? and soften that armor. So I'm so thankful, all the beloveds watching, everyone here, for the ways that in your own life that you, your own unique expressions are in relationship with that noticing and that softening. This certainly helps, supports, allows for this option to be ever more available in the collective. And as we come back home here, we can't see another human without noticing the biggest part of them is that home here as well. We're not fooled by whatever the story is or whatever the violence is, whatever the projection is, whatever the narrative is. It's like, okay, yes, we notice it immediately evaporates, self releases. What's stable is the truth of what's here, the truth of who they are. It's like, oh, you made a valiant effort there. And I still see you, bitch. I still see who the fuck you is. Don't even try it. What up, ho? Vast, infinite, loving immediacy. Hmm. This is where greetings like namaste are revealed to be a lived phenomena. The light as me, the love as me, the fullness as me, the peace as me recognizes and greets the peace that is you, my very own self. Regardless the disguise, while still honoring the poetry of the way of it and noticing fully available to march, to protest, to vote, to art, to speak, to invite a conversation, to explore other options. Maybe we can reevaluate this little thing, this sweet innocent institution that arose from an unconscious mind. The innocence of this law that has arisen from an unconscious mind, or a mind that only had this amount of information as opposed to this amount of information. But from a space of love and support and kindness. Everyone doing the best they can, depending on the world they live in. And the only world anyone has ever lived in is this world, the world of our own making, the story of the world. Infinite worlds, depending on how many bodies are here on this planet, infinite worlds, including the world of a centipede and the world of a deer and the world of jaguar and the world of butterfly, all the senses, the world of a sea anemone. So, so precious, us human beings. Anyone want to share something? Or has that evoked something in you, this exploration, this curiosity. Yeah. And Claudia, feel free to text me if you have something you'd like to share. I'll read it. Yay!
Yay. So I'm getting ready to move on Friday,
Okay.
which
And
is
where are you moving to?
to Lions.
I love that. And you have a whole Lions crew here tonight.
No way. I had no idea. That's so fun. Here we are. But it's so funny because I gave myself the day to like pack up and move or just, get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get myself to do anything.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a question or more of a statement, but it was just interesting to notice like I was just like going in one direction and then I was like, all right, that's not happening today. But I think what it really is too is just deciding like what am I bringing into the next chapter and what am I letting go of, or it probably just has to do with change.
Ah, and what has to do with change?
Like
The not
the
doing,
packing or the not
the
packing, because
packing or
it's
the
not
not
going to pack
packing.
itself, but at the
Uh-huh.
same time, yeah.
So what's the whole aspect about change? What do you feel? Is there a little trepidation, a little?
It feels like death, even though it's
Uh-huh.
like a death to the old self, but yet
Yeah.
um like the body is excited, but the mind is the one that's like, but nothing's wrong, everything's great,
I so
so
hear that.
I think just transition.
The transition, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so natural for all kinds of things to arise in a moment of transition, in a moment of change.
Hmm.
So, so innocent. And I love that you gave yourself permission to, I'm assuming you didn't beat yourself up over not.
No, because
I
I have
love
till
that.
Friday.
You have
But
till Friday. How sweet.
I just like thought I was gonna do something today, but it just turned out I needed space.
I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, that's one thing that I really love, a plot twist
Hmm.
and a thought. Oh, I had this thought. Oh, yeah, it was just a thought.
Yeah.
That's where, reality, falling in love with reality is such a sweet option. Yeah, it's like, oh, this is what was here. I noticed the sentences appearing in my mind, such as, wow, I so appreciate that suggestion. Oh, appreciate that. So curious. Let's see if it unfolds. And I appreciate that suggestion, and I notice, yeah, this is what's here. Is the hand moving? It's not in this moment. Am I picking up the tape or the boxes? Oh, I notice I'm not. That's not what's happening. Where's the movement? And then the willingness, the availability for when it is time to pack, you know? And and yeah, it's so fun to be in the flow of it. We have all these ideas of what the flow should look like, and yay, of course, we have these ideas of what the flow should look like. And then there's reality. There's what actually unfolds. And in our willingness to come back to the wisdom of the moment, seamless kindness, uninterrupted, kind flow. Yeah, we're in the floativation of life. Fully available for all the shit to get done, every box to be checked. Yeah, so it's not a passive state. Yeah.
Something's probably still happening.
Sorry?
something's probably still happening
Something's probably still happening.
in like the nothingness or like the not doing anything, you
Oh,
know, like there's
wow.
still preparation going on
Oh,
somewhere, I'm
wow.
sure.
Oh my, well, that's what's so wonderful, right? I love how valuable nothing is. Rest is. Absolutely. It it's what fuels any notion of movement or change or something going somewhere. And even in the apparent doing, if we take a look, still nothing happening. If we're really honest. Ooh, hey, yeah. Ah, nothing happening, nothing happened, nothing will ever happen. So sweet. Ooh. Was there something more you'd like to share around that? Or do you feel complete?
Nothing.
I would nothing. I would just like to
Complete.
say I'm so excited for you, and what a beautiful space to be. All the beloveds I've ever known to live in Lions are just so amazing. And so it's so fitting for you to be in that beautiful community. Yay. And excited to get the glimpses and witness all the things that unfold in this new chapter. This song I wrote many, many, many years ago. It's probably 18, 19. Let's see if I remember the lyrics. It's something like, what are those lyrics? Oh, wait. Claudia's got something to say. Tell Chloe that I could help tomorrow or Wednesday. Beloved, is there a Chloe here? Claudia, I think you might be texting someone else, babe. Yeah. But if there is a Chloe watching this at any point throughout history and throughout time, Claudia is going to be available at one point in a Wednesday, sometime. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. Okay, remember the lyrics. You remember the lyrics. Okay, never really tell. The sun shining down on every human face, evaporating fears, leaving grace in its place. The world spinning round, she ain't stopping for no one. Not you or your mama or the thoughts you keep throwing on people with lives that are liveless. People with lives that are lived just like you. They got dreams, aspirations, their beliefs and their truths. Differences only exist in our minds. Reality's bigger than you, me, or these lines. All of the greats have known that love's the way to go. Their courage paved the way. Now we can do the same. Knowledge is nothing but some hyped up assumptions that will one day be lost to the sweetness of nothing. Now don't get me wrong, I enjoy all of this hype, but not to the degree that it's running my life, pushing me to make music out of fear, compromise what I've realized, deny that I'm here. Differences only exist in our minds. Reality's bigger than you, me, or these lines. All of the greats have known that love's the way to go. Their courage paved the way. Now we can do the same. I know it feels crazy when you think you're so small, looking up at world peace like a building so small. Now don't most people get overwhelmed and do nothing but fight with the wars in their heads, and that's something. Others bomb thinking they have all the answers, converting and changing outside's not the answer. Difference, the world's a reflection, true peace is inside. Reality's bigger than you, me, or these lines. All of the greats have known that love's a way to go. Their courage paved the way. Now we can do the same. Oh, I'm available to be the change I wish to see. I'm available to be that change. Oh, and I ain't trying to be that person or that one or that one or that one or the one who wrote that or the one who said that or the I'm only gonna allow this moment to be however it wants to come through as me. Oh, yeah, me. I appreciate, I bow down. I have really realized that the only way that I can truly honor what you teach, that I can truly honor what you preach, that I can truly honor the way you reach for the light, the way you reach for the love that is always here, is for me to be me. Is for this willingness to allow this infinite moment to appear the way that it wants to appear now. Oh, your life can only look like your life is gonna look. Thank goodness that it don't gotta look like you think it gotta look. Oh, this life can only look like the way it's gonna look. Thank goodness it's not gonna look like the way you think it's gotta look. Oh, all of the greats have known that that love's the way to go. Their courage, their willingness to tell the truth, their willingness to tell the truth regardless of the consequence that may arise or may appear. Oh, their courage paved the way. Now it's up to us, it's up to us, up to us in our own lives, just as they are, whether it's sweet and ordinary and subtle and relaxed and chill and or giant and big. Oh, up to us in every moment to show up as we are, to be vulnerable, to say this is here, and to maybe consider what else is present with all the feelings and all the mind stuff and all the relationship stuff and all the time stuff and all the what about my purpose stuff and all the ooh, yeah. right now, right now. Anyone else want to share something? Yes. Oh, and we got some new information.
Oh, awesome.
Claudia meant Jen. There was a typo. Chloe was a typo. So Claudia is saying that she would love to help tomorrow or Wednesday between 12 and 3:30 for whatever it is you need. That is so sweet. Thank you, Claudia. So sweet. She'll call you. She'll give you a call. What were you gonna say, Jim? Oh,
No, I was
yeah.
gonna say, I wasn't gonna say anything, and then that invitation to just be with what's here. I mean, since
Yeah.
it is the eve of the election,
Yeah.
and just being honest among
Yeah.
friends.
Yay.
Um, I mean, there is a sense that whatever happens, the well-being
Mm-hmm.
isn't connected necessarily to the election. And yet
Yeah.
there's also a sense of a dimming of innocence,
Yeah.
if this is the move that we're making as a collective.
Mm.
And yeah, so, and I mean, there are layers of stuff when you were talking about kindness earlier. I
Yeah.
mean, I did some calls for Kamala, and people who are
Thank you.
voting for Trump and
Mm-hmm.
calling Kamala garbage and
Mm.
um, talking about stuff, and I'm just like, on the personality level, I'm like, I don't want to hang out with,
I hear that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'd love to hear you speak to like
Right.
those different levels of
Mm-hmm.
the dimming of
Mm-hmm.
something that would happen and just what's underneath all that.
Right. Right. So again, the dimming would only appear to be a story that we tell now. Is it absolutely true that there will be a dimming of innocence? And then we look at where the evidence arises, and the evidence, so where does the evidence that there will be a dimming appear?
It's just that feeling, like if you go into the story, like the headlines, and then
Right?
the election day, the
Uh-huh.
inauguration,
Yeah.
the crowd size issue.
Right. 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 Yeah, so of course, a lot of logistics, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things coming up. And and maybe the innocence isn't dimmed regardless of appearance or regardless of unfolding. One thing that's also, it's kind of like I love that we in our holograms we have our bubbles of those that we gravitate towards and our little groups and our little communities. And but also, what I love about planet Earth is that here we are, everyone's hanging out with everyone. You can't escape hanging out with anyone. And what is your community? Your community is this planet Earth. The community is not limited to lions, not limited to those that listen to Papaji or those that listen to this or those that listen to I don't know any of the other ones. This whole thing is a community. It's like, what's your community? This planet, this earth, this whole thing, and and you can always find, it's like when we see someone caught up in a nightmare, in a dream, in a swirl of assumptions, fear, we could always, if you're honest, oh yes, I know that so well. I've been there in that way. Maybe not in this situation, but in another situation or another subject of material, another um, and it's so, of course, it's challenging to hear, um, and then we get curious, noticing how we meet it from a personality space, and it's like, oh yeah, of course, there's triggers in personality. Of course, there's thoughts that come up in personality. Of course, there's judgments that come up in personality. Of course, there's ideas of how I wish they would think, or how I wish they would talk, or why don't they see that they're hurting themselves? Why don't they see that they're voting against their own interests? Why don't they see that they're shooting themselves in the foot? Why don't they see? And this can be said on both sides, which is so fascinating to my from every space, Why did why did how is it that they're doing this? Oh my God. What are they not seeing? And so, so, so innocent. But again, in our willingness to recognize that tendency and to just feel into a little bit deeper and to consider, how does this unwavering awareness meet the situation? How does this awareness hear that? How does this space of awareness that knows that it's impossible for there to be any dimming of innocence, impossible for, not to say that the hologram, who knows which direction things are going to go in the hologram? You know, no one knows. I have another song that I wrote. That's just said, I'll just read the lyrics. It says, let's see. I'm just gonna play it because I cannot remember the lyrics of the song. It's a song called Nobody Knows. Nobody knows. Where you at? Where you at? Nobody knows. Where you? Oh, no, no, no. That's not the one. This. All right. Do I have the lyrics? Oh yes, I have the lyrics. Okay. So in the beginning it says only. What is it? I don't have that part. Only a dream can end. And then it says, are we gonna die and go back to being stardust? Are we gonna fly and no longer ride the school bus? Are we gonna one day evolve into a species that has passed its course in war and someday discover that we don't need to kill each other anymore? Are we gonna give our life over to some story and then forget to live, shut our doors, and stop exploring? Are we going to lose the ability to keep dreaming about what the future has in store and rest our heads between our legs, staring blindly at the floor? Nobody knows. Nobody knows, said nobody, because reality's much cooler than what we believe. Nobody knows, even if somebody knows. Nobody. Let's get our front row seats. The end of the world's on the movie screen. Let's get our front row seats. The end of the world's on a movie screen. Could this be the end, or is it the beginning? Could the world be in your head and you're just lucid dreaming? Is life as we know it an attempt to control it because we're afraid to be who it is we are and lose the little me inside that longs to be a rock star? Nobody knows, and nobody knows nobody, because reality is much cooler than what we believe. Nobody knows, even if somebody knows. Nobody. Let's get our front row seats. The end of the world's in a movie screen. The end of the world's in a movie screen. This could be the end of violence and denying what's inside us, and the end of all the lying that has only led to crying. This could be the end of judging everyone and who they're fucking. Yes, this could be the end of suffering because we believe all our assumptions. This could be the end of ignorance and the end of chasing eternal bliss. This could be the end of governments and not being able to pay the rent. This could be the end of separation, the source of all our frustrations. This could be the end of the world religions, a jealous God who's always sinning. This could be the end of the universe where all songs are just hooks without a verse. This could be the end of all our fears to just being the radiance of here. This could be the end of all our fears to just being the radiance of here. But nobody knows that a nobody knows nobody, because reality is much cooler, much bigger, kinder than what we believe. Nobody knows. Even if somebody knows, nobody. Let's get our front row seats. The end of the world's in a movie screen. The end of the world's in a movie screen. Click. 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 It's so beautiful to, of course, move in the direction that feels resonant with where our hearts are, and move in the direction of where we see what's possible for our species and for the world, and still reality bigger than our most thought through, our most calculated, our most loving intentions, assumptions, predictions. Much bigger. What was such a profound moment in my experience that I notice is still alive is that, it's kind of like, what do we imagine a better world is going to give us? What do we imagine a world where everyone is so awake and so clear and so woke, or so, what's the other word? So traditional. So, what do we imagine that world is going to give us? It's like, oh, if that world happens, then I can finally relax. Then I can finally, love a neighbor. Then I can finally love myself. Then I can finally feel like all my quirky infinite beauty can belong somewhere. Then I can, who knows what it is? If anyone wants to share, what do you imagine this enlightened world is going to give you? Or this Christian world is going to give you? Oh, what do we imagine?
Go with the
Yes, let's
fantasy.
go with it. Let's have
So when I
fun.
imagine Kamala, Madam President, I
Yes.
imagine a shift, like a change,
Yes.
like
Yes.
potential, like our daughters, like seeing this in our
Yes.
lifetime, that
Oh,
there are no boundaries, nothing.
powerful.
I imagine like the excitement of a president who treats people as human, as
Yeah.
something bigger. We can come together finally after like this. I don't know. I feel like this
hear that.
energy, like this, a brightness, a
Yes.
movement.
I'm right here with you. Yes.
I mean,
So one thing is the vision, the when it's positive, I mean when it's just like, oh yes, of course, let's imagine, let's envision and feel into that, and
yeah.
how beautiful, how so beautiful. And where it can be valuable, this exploration that I was exploring, is if there's a stress, if there's this sense of, oh my God, I'm going to be tied down by something, I'm going to be which again, nothing wrong with that. totally has its place in the poetry. And in the context of satsang and why we're here is truly regardless of circumstance. There is the option of peace, and there is the availability to look your prisoner or to look the oppressor in the face with love as an option, to be truly it is well with my soul. Truly it is well, and it is well, and it is well, regardless, it is well. Again, as I love to say, does it means that we're emblazoned. Having that aliveness, that stillness, that option. Oh my gosh, we are marching. We are in that, we are celebrating. We are seeing what's possible. And we are loving, and we are recognizing the innocence of being afraid, and the innocence of hatred, the innocence of the technology of war, while still on fire, celebrating the peace that is with little actions and moments and expressions that make that peace more and more obvious in the emanation of our planetary dream. Peace is here, and may that shit be more and more obvious. Abundance is here, and may it be more and more obvious. Freedom is here, and may it be more and more obvious. Humans delighted with the freedom to choose their experience and choose for their bodies is here, and may that be more and more obvious. It's like here, and may it be more and more obvious. Let's see, Claudia just texted. What you won't say, beloved? Then whatever about Hitler and World War II in respect to dimming of innocence? Having grown up in Middle Europe in the 50s, I perceived as a child what I would call a bit of dimmed atmosphere around me. Absolutely. So this isn't the denial of of what can happen. Oh my goodness. We Everyone in our own, maybe some of us, a lot of us, privileged not to have gone through the dimming of, I know what, it's like. The biggest inspiration for me to move into spaces of satsang and tell the truth about who I really am was the complete absurdity of this world and all the innocence of all the people being killed. All the I really wanted to know what the fuck is going on here. Why are we doing this stupid shit? Why are we hurting each other? Why are we saying you can't kiss who you want to kiss? Why are we saying you can't have that color of skin? Why are we saying you can't pray like that or preach like that? And why are there these giant genocides of people? What the fuck is happening? So I totally get it. Totally get it. And I can't lie. I can't be in the lie that innocence is going to be dimmed. I can't be in the lie that peace is going to be dimmed. I can't be in the lie that freedom is going to be dimmed. I can't be in the lie that it's best for the world if this happens. Even though a huge part of me is marching and voting for what I see could totally be best for the world. Like, it's so obvious. It's so best for the world for women to have rights and to have autonomy over their own body and decisions. It's so right for this world for little girls to look at a woman president and be like, oh, yes, I could be whoever the fuck I want to be. There's no limit. There's nothing holding me back. Thank you for the suggestion and fuck no. Thank you for the suggestion and fuck no. I am a motherfucking powerhouse. I am a trailblazing force of the awakening of humanity. Yes, I am totally. And that all of that comes and goes. Every civilization has come and gone. Every planet will come and go. This invitation of knowing who you are now isn't just about right now. This is for all of infinity. All appearance of every world, every civilization, every lifetime, every it's so much fun. This option. Noticing what's awake now, what's never been affected. Boy, has the world gone through many ups and downs. The collective consciousness of our species, the atrocity after atrocity, uh, what's the word? Um, Cataclysms after cataclysms, catastrophe after catastrophe, genocide after genocide. I mean, so heartbreaking. And wow. But also an invitation for us to finally consider how the fuck does this shit happen? And what I love is that it doesn't have to be so mysterious and mystical anymore. Enlightenment doesn't have to be mystical or belonging to someone who's been in that cave for 1,000 years, or it's like it's as practical as right now. Education and the nature of mind. How does my it's like education in the nature of mind. I would love, and I have in different instances, to sit down with beloveds who believe these thoughts. It happens all the time. But for example, let's say Claudia brought up Hitler. Let's say Hitler had a run-in with Byron Katie in an elevator. and and for some reason Hitler was like, Jews are bad. And Byron Katie was like, is that true? How do you react when you believe the thought, Jews are bad? I mean, the insanity, I mean, the insanity that unfolds from an uninvestigated assumption. Oh my gosh. And we have the clarity, and it's becoming more and more obvious and available for beloveds who are recognizing the value of taking responsibility for one's own experience and clarity. Where we can question our thoughts. My gosh, so many. What can be a fun thought to question also in our recent times? Oh, um, boys are going to go to the bathroom and come back girls. Is that true? How do you react when you believe that thought? How do you see a beloved who's trans when you believe that thought? They're the enemy. They're ruining it for all. That's it's like all of those assumptions lead to the dehumanization, which is so sad. All of a sudden, we're not seeing the people in front of us. We're seeing our fear projected as them, and they're the total enemy. And no one can tell us otherwise. They're ruining society. They're ruining the family unit. They're a threat to the foundation. And family is the foundation. Really? Family is the foundation? How do you react when you believe that thought? And not to sadden, and this is not anything against family. In the openness of the open mind, family gets to appear in so many different expressions. Family isn't limited to some particular group's idea or some book's idea of what it should look like. And then in that space of the freedom, it's like, oh wow, of course this is family. And then it's so obvious the love and the support that's there. Anyone else have any other thought? That's fascinating. I have a few more minutes. What's it's just so fascinating. These assumptions. Oh my gosh. Um, uh, this world is run by reptilians. Is is that true? Or reptilians are bad? Is that true? Are, I mean, so many assumptions. And then it snowball because they breed. Thoughts are like rabbits. They like to humpity, humpity, hump, hump, hump. And then you have multiple, 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 and they're constantly humping and constantly humping and constantly breeding and breeding and breeding and more thoughts and more thoughts and more thoughts. And then again, we're no longer on a planet. We're in a fish tank of our own assumptions. And what are we doing in that tiny fish tank? We keep shitting in our own fish tank. But it's like, beloved, you don't live in a fish tank. You are freedom itself, and everyone is freedom itself. What arises when you acknowledge and tell the truth about your own sovereignty instead of trying to fight for your sovereignty, instead of trying to kill for your sovereignty? Tell the truth about who you are now instead of trying to fight for your peace. Who are you now? And live from that space. I mean, it's wondrous, so innocent. We laugh because it's laughable. And it's heartbreaking, all the things that arise from those assumptions and those strategies, the horrors that arise. And there is another way. There is another way. How does it feel to see someone as the enemy? How does that feel inside of you? That must feel like shit to walk around and to live like that. You don't have to. You don't have to live in that space. You don't have to live in horror anytime you see a drag queen. There are other options to responding to a drag queen, such as, "Damn, bitch, you better slay with that motherfucker." What? You is a, you are so fierce. Oh my goodness, I am so happy that humanity has the flavor of drag queen as well. Oh my gosh, what a gift you are to this world. Those colors, that fabulosity, that what? Your the hilarity, the shit that comes out your mouth. Lord have mercy. That oh my, there's so many options. Again, when we're in judgment and fear, we're not even seeing the beloved in front of us. We're only reacting to our own story. And who's always at the scene of the crime? You, bitch! So innocent. Hmm. Alrighty, loves. Thank you so much for this satsang tonight. Thank you for everything. Oh my goodness, such a delight. So grateful, so excited for the possibilities that are unfolding. So excited for seeing so many beloveds choosing harmony and peace and joy and the willingness to welcome, to recognize that all the flavors are here. Everyone has a piece of the puzzle. Everyone's already sitting at God's table. May all beings recognize the peace within themselves and see that peace present on the face of all the other beloveds on this in this dream on this planet. And may it be more and more obvious. If you'd like, you're welcome to leave a donation in that little blue thing over there. You're welcome to have a little snack. And I won't be here next week. I leave to Hawaii tomorrow, to Kauai. But I will be here on the next Monday, which is, what day is that? The 18th. And I'll be here on the 25th. I'll be here on the 2nd and on the 9th and on the 16th, on the 23rd. So I'm really happy for a nice winter experience of satsang. This invitation. It's the season of lights, season of awareness. Thank you very much for this time together. Bye, beloveds. And so where you want to end it is on YouTube. I mean, no, on Zoom. On Zoom. On Zoom. Yay! Ready, ready, ready. Oh my goodness.
Next time, I think you should just tell it like it is, Thresh.
Stop postponing.
So, I'll take that into consideration. Right. Appreciate the suggestion.
So you're from Lance?
Yeah, they're there, Mama.
Oh,
It's so great. We got a little posse coming out from Ashes, right? Where are you? Where are you?
It's just like such a It'll be on Blue Mountain,
Yeah.
whatever expression
Blue Mountain.
this all is, and to take it a little bit lighter.
Wild Blue Mountain.
You're not
I mean, it sounds familiar.
It's the other side of something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Up
People
the
are vibing
mountain
on
up
it. They're doing
Spring Gulch
something.
area.
It's like 20 minutes from town. But it'll be beautiful.
Is it with somebody? Yourself?
Your dog.
Or your dog?
Me and my dog.
Oh, okay, nice.
Good
Right.
for you.
So I've never lived in the mountains before, so that's the whole like change piece. It's like it's just gonna be a different lifestyle. Yeah. It's huge.
And yeah, we all have dogs and we all hang out at the dog park.
Oh my god.
We have a great dog park in Lance. Have you seen
So
it?
sweet. Is it the one by Bond Park?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That's how I met Cheese Ladies, was at the dog park.
True. Yeah,
That's
there's a
so
lot of
sweet.
worlds come together there.
And then we found the other overlaying things.
Yes, there was more to discover than
Yes.
just being dog owners. Yeah.
And their dogs having fun together.
Sounds like a ball.
So you're moving this weekend?
Yep, on Friday. It's
Aw.
happening.
Cool.
It's gonna be good.
Where do you live right now?
In Gun Barrel.
Okay, nice. Where are you moving to in Lyons?
On Blue Mountain.
Sweet.
How about you all?
So pretty there.
I live right downtown.
Nice.
I live like just out of town up Steamboat Valley.
Yeah, I love that the river's there, and it's probably one of the biggest things that drew me, or that just like initially I was like, oh, my heart is here.
Mm.
Just visiting the river at any time of the season.
Mm.
Any season.
Mm.
It's just like bliss.
Mm.
Try not to take it for granted now that it's there every day. I felt that same just like heart full of like, oh, I want this all the time, and now it's there all the time.
Yeah.
It's just part of the routine, and to remember how sweet it is.
So special. Yeah, even if it's just for like a minute.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was like, I gotta get going, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna go say hi for like a minute to the water.
Mm.
I keep saying I'm gonna join like the polar bear club and get in every day, but it's cold.
I'll do that in like the summer, but
Yeah.
even in the summer, like even in the summer, it's still cold.
It's still cold.
It's still cold.
It is. There's a whole group that goes all year round, like Wednesday mornings or something, and get in.
Really? That's intense.
It is.
But maybe it's not as cold, or is it the
It's
same
always
cold?
cold. It's more
Yeah,
cold.
It's more cold.
It gets colder.
It's colder.
Does your Colorado sticker say naive?
It does.
That's so great. That's really great. I like that.
Yep.
Nice one.
Yeah, I had somebody at the studio. She actually created those.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. She's a Colorado native, and she was like, I hate those native stickers on Priuses. I cannot stand them anymore. I have to do something different.
Maybe, do you have a little stack of them for sale?
No, I don't.
Darn it.
And I forgot her name. She was there for a while and then left somewhere else.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
John,
John and Tracy.
Tracy, and
Taylor.
Taylor, right? And
Jen.
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 Yeah.
Okay. You guys come here often?
Once in a while, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Ash and I, we had a similar teacher, or we have a similar teacher, Gangaji. So I know Gangaji from the 90s, and I think Ash met her a little bit later. So my wife, she was with Papaji, so was Elizabeth as well.
Uh-huh.
So I know Elizabeth from India.
Oh.
So that's kind of the connection, and
Fun.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ash definitely is embodying some of that energy of Gangaji. It's really beautiful to see. She's still alive and around. If you ever want to go see her in Ashland if you have an opportunity to go, because that lineage is, she's not going to be around for very much longer, but she's absolutely freaking amazing to be with. Like a silent retreat or just a weekend or something in Ashland. I highly, highly recommend it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Field trip.
I was gonna say.
Little field
I had a
trip.
little ding ding for us.
There you go.
Like Wayne, be whimsical about it. Some guy told us to do it. Let's just go do it.
Universe just popped in.
I've only seen her on YouTube, but that's just my story of her, right? Right? Gosh, that's really cool.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So fortunate to be in the presence of so many teachings. It really blows my mind.
Pun intended.
Yeah. It's like the river. Try not to take the river for granted.
Don't take it for granted. It's just flowing.
Yeah.
All of it's just flowing.
Comes and goes.
We just get attached. Care. I think that was my conflict that I like wanted to like bring up. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling this resistance that like, but what about I still have to work and do shit and do all these things, and yet it's like, yes, that's there, but it's the peace and the love and everything is still right there. You know, the river's still flowing.
Yeah.
I just have to like flow with it, but I want to get caught up on a rock and I want to go off to the side and I want to control the fucking.
So sometimes I
Wonder?
get completely devastated by that same thought
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I have to do this again next
Yeah.
month. Oh.
Yeah. Or just every day I'd be like, should, of like, I need to do this, I need to do this, and I still have to pay the mortgage and get my kids to school and, you know, all of these things. And so my ego is wanting to get into like, well, then this is a lie, you know, like, why do I have to do all this shit if we can just be peace? But it's just finding the peace in each of those moments is a choice, right? Like,
Right.
that flow isn't stopping, it's just my mind.
The peace never went anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunnies are just
Bunnies are
copulating.
just fucking like,
Well, that's kind of what Ad was saying, right? He's talking about what's already not flowing. So the peace and the love and joy, they don't actually flow. I mean, that's how I kind of see it. I mean, thoughts and emotions they flow, and they flow in complete harmony with one another. They're synchronistic pairs. Beliefs and emotions. That's what's flowing. Oh,
Those are our
ocean of beliefs, an ocean of thoughts. You know, and then the stillness is just the one thought. It's just thought. Otherwise, it's thoughts of thoughts.
motion in the ocean.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just thoughts of thoughts. It's just thought.
Yeah.
I guess the feeling, like the thought of love is not different than the feeling of love. There's no difference in those. There's just thought.
Another reason I
Peace is beyond understanding. We think.
We think we know what peace is.
we think. And we think thoughts think. Thoughts don't think. We're just thought.
Yeah. Well, I love what Ash said tonight. Reality is so much cooler than what we think. How fun!
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I
How
appreciate
fun
that
is
too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so
Like,
perfect. It's perfection perfected. I mean, it's like without even. Yeah.
It's like so much. And I like what he said, grandmother's laugh. It's like, it's just, it's
Perfect. I mean, there's not, there can't be anything else.
whoa. Isn't that great?
So correct.
And it's not dependent on anything.
Yeah.
Yes, one for Ash.
Everything else dims its innocence.
Oh,
Tracy, you know,
That's good.
you
You
got
cut
a
that one,
massage to Ashley Johnson, didn't you? Recently, you gave Ashley Johnson a massage.
I gave her one around her birthday.
Yeah, come, we're doing, he's gonna wear your Keith's shirt.
So let's have a picture for Ash.
Okay,
It's
great.
a peace. Yeah, it's really a cool place.
From the border. Ash, pick you at the airport.
Canada. It's a really amazing garden area. Is symmetric to the US and Canada line. Big the line.
This filter's out of control.
That is good. I love it. Okay, you're a big hug for me.
I will.
So good.
I see you when I get back.
Yes.
I'm back on the 16th actually, because I leave with the night of the 15th, so I get here in the morning.
Yeah, some friends that lived in Lions.
Something fun.
Bjorn and Bree, you know them? Huh? Right, they used to live in Lyons. That's where I first went there and did those ceremonies in their basement in Lyons.
Wonderful to see you too.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Jim.
Jim, nice
Yep.
to meet you.
Now with a E or a no E?
It's an E.
Okay.
EY.
Okay. All right. Very good.
You can,
No, I
spell
have-
whatever you want.
I had another friend who was Tracy without an E, so yeah. And a Stacy with a EY